Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get into the story. The fork was halfway to my mouth when she said it. We were at her parents' place in Germantown. Sunday dinner, like we'd done every month for the past 4 years. Her mom had just brought out dessert. Pecan pie, the kind Patricia Hartwell made from scratch with pecans from the tree in their backyard. Her dad was telling some story about his latest development project near the medical district. Everything was normal, comfortable. Then Melissa said it. Her dad had mentioned Bradford getting promoted. Regional director for the advertising firm where Melissa worked. Big deal, apparently. Richard was impressed, going on about how smart Bradford must be to move up so fast at only 35. Melissa set her coffee cup down and smiled. Not a small smile. A satisfied one. Oh, I already know. Bradford told me last week. He's incredible. Honestly, if he ever actually asked me to leave with him, I probably would. He's that impressive. Just like that. Casual. Like she was commenting on the weather or recommending a restaurant. Patricia's hand froze halfway through pouring more coffee. Richard stopped mid-sentence, mouth still open. I could hear the grandfather clock ticking in the hallway. I looked at Melissa for maybe 3 seconds. Long enough to see she wasn't embarrassed. Wasn't backtracking. Still smiling. This wasn't a slip. This wasn't her being careless. This was intentional. I set my fork down. Picked up my napkin, wiped my mouth. Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Hartwell. Mr. Hartwell. The pie was excellent. I stood up, pushed my chair back carefully. The legs scraped against the hardwood floor, too loud in the sudden silence. Richard opened his mouth, closed it. Wait, where are you going? Melissa wasn't smiling anymore. Confused now, like I'd missed my cue in whatever scene she was directing. I didn't answer. Just walked to the foyer, grabbed my jacket from the coat rack. The house was one of those old Germantown colonials. High ceilings, crown molding, the kind of place that announced you'd made it. Connor, seriously? Her voice followed me. Sharper now. It wasn't like that. Don't be dramatic. I opened the front door. The October air hit me, cool and clean. It was exactly like that, I said without turning around. Then I left. The drive back to Cooper Young took 25 minutes. I didn't speed. Didn't slam my hands on the steering wheel. Just drove normal, down Poplar Avenue, through the Midtown lights, past the restaurants and shops I'd driven past 1,000 times before. My brain was working differently now. Clearer. Like someone had turned on a light in a room I'd been stumbling through in the dark. The late nights at the office. Melissa had always worked late, but it picked up 8 months ago. Bradford needs me on this campaign, she'd say. We're behind schedule. I'd believed her. The phone turned face down on the table. Started maybe 3 months ago. Sudden. Complete. I just want to focus on dinner, she'd explained once when I mentioned it. The conference in Nashville 2 months back. 3 days, barely any calls. The signal's terrible in the hotel, she'd texted. Bradford had been at that conference. She'd mentioned it casually, once, then never brought it up again. The new clothes. The expensive perfume her salary shouldn't have covered. The way she'd started styling her hair differently, wearing makeup to work every day instead of just client meetings. I'd seen it all. Of course I'd seen it. I just chose not to understand what I was seeing. I pulled into the driveway of our duplex on Evelyn Avenue. Small place, 2 bedrooms, shared driveway with the unit next door. The Hartwells owned it. Family investment property, Richard had said when I'd signed the lease 3 years ago. Only my name on the paperwork, though. Just in case, he'd said. Melissa had moved in with me 18 months later. Just in case. Funny how that worked out. Inside, everything looked the same. Her shoes by the door. Her jacket on the hook. The throw pillows on the couch that she'd insisted we needed. The inspirational quote prints on the walls that I'd always thought were tacky. I went to the bedroom, found the cardboard boxes I'd saved from my last move, stored flat in the closet. Started carrying them to the living room. Her closet first. I pulled dresses off hangers, folded them, packed them. Not angry, not throwing things. Just systematic. The designer purses she collected, lined up on the top shelf. The shoes, organized by color. The expensive skincare products from the bathroom. That lavender toothbrush she'd bought last month. I worked for maybe 2 hours. Lost track of time. My phone buzzed constantly on the counter where I'd left it. I didn't check it. Just kept packing. Books from the nightstand. The journal she'd bought, but never written in. Her laptop charger. The fancy coffee maker she'd insisted on. I'd used it maybe twice. Kitchen stuff that was clearly hers. The ceramic mixing bowls. The specialty spices I'd never heard of. By 11, I had 10 boxes stacked by the door. Everything that was obviously hers, neatly packed and labeled in black marker. Clothes, bedroom closet, bathroom items, kitchen supplies. My army habits, still there. Organized, methodical, clear. I pulled out my phone then. 41 notifications. I scrolled through them. Melissa. Multiple numbers, like she'd borrowed phones when I didn't answer. Where did you go? This is ridiculous. We need to talk about this like adults. The last one, sent 10 minutes ago. I'm coming home. We're talking about this. Her mom. Her dad. Her best friend Stephanie. All variations of what happened. And call me. I blocked every number. Systematic. One by one. Then I carried the boxes outside. The porch was small, just enough room for 2 chairs and a welcome mat. I arranged the boxes neatly, visible from the street. Printed a note on white paper. Your belongings. Everything accounted for. Take them whenever convenient. I taped it to the top box, went back inside, and locked the door. Then I sat on the couch in the dark living room and waited. Put my phone on the coffee table where I could see it light up, but didn't have to hear it. Her car pulled up at 11:45. I heard the engine cut, the door slam. Footsteps on the walkway. Through the front window, I could see her approaching the porch. Still had that small smile on her face. Like she'd given me time to calm down, and now we could talk about her little joke. The smile faded when she saw the boxes. She stopped. I watched her read the note. Saw her face change. Confusion. Then anger. She tried the door. The knob rattled. Then knocking. Connor, open the door. I didn't move. Connor, this is insane. Open the door. My phone lit up on the coffee table. Her calling. I let it ring. The knocking got louder. You can't just kick me out. I live here. Silence from me. My name's not on the lease, but we're practically common law. Her voice was loud now, sharp. Tennessee doesn't have common law marriage. My brother Dennis had mentioned that once, when we were talking about something else entirely. Random fact that suddenly mattered. She called someone. I could hear her voice outside, muffled. Probably her parents. Then footsteps down the porch stairs. I watched from the window as she loaded the boxes into her Honda Civic. Took 3 trips. She kept looking at the door, like she expected me to come out. I didn't. After the last box, she stood by her car for a long moment, staring at the house. Then she got in and drove away. I sat there in the quiet. The house felt different already. Lighter. Like I'd been holding my breath underwater for months and finally came up for air. I woke up on the couch at 6 in the morning. Neck stiff, still wearing yesterday's clothes. For about 5 seconds, I thought maybe it was a bad dream. Then I saw the gaps on the bookshelf where her books had been. The empty hooks where her jackets used to hang. Not a dream. I made coffee. Strong, black. The kind that tastes like burnt tires but gets you moving. My phone had more notifications. I scrolled through them while the coffee brewed. Her. Different number. Where did you go? We need to talk. Her mom. Connor, please call me. Let's work this out. Her dad. Son, let's be reasonable. Stephanie. What did you do? That last one almost made me laugh. What did I do? Right. I blocked them all. Deleted the messages. The coffee finished. I poured a cup and got ready for work. Shower. Shave. The company polo shirt. Navy blue with the equipment distributor logo on the chest. Normal routine. Normal Monday. The warehouse was off Lamar Avenue, Industrial District, surrounded by similar buildings. I'd worked there 5 years, supervising inventory and shipments. Mr. Crawford, my boss, was already in his office when I arrived. He waved through the glass window. I waved back. Normal. The morning was steady. Shipment came in at 8. Needed sorting and storage. I worked with Ramon and 2 other guys, moving boxes, updating inventory on the system. Physical work. Good for clearing your head. At lunch, my phone buzzed. Text from Garrett. Kelly heard something. Call me. Garrett Bishop. Known him since Army days. Both of us logistics specialists stationed at Fort Campbell. He'd gotten out a year before me. Started his own HVAC business in Memphis. Solid friend. Didn't drama things up. I called him during my break. Kelly ran into Stephanie at Target this morning, he said. No preamble, straight to it. Melissa's story is you went crazy over nothing. Yeah. Want to tell me what actually happened? I did. The dinner. The comment. Walking out. Packing her stuff. Silence on his end for a moment. Then, That's not nothing. No. You need anything? I'm good. Just wanted you to know the real story. Kelly says Melissa's staying with her parents, making it sound like you threw her out violently. Her stuff was neatly packed and labeled. She knows that's a lie. Yeah, I figured. Want to grab dinner this week? Wednesday work. Central barbecue. 7 o'clock. I'll be there. We hung up. Good friend. Didn't push. Just offered to be there. Work kept me busy the rest of the day. By the time I got home, it was after 6. I pulled into the driveway and saw her car already there. Melissa, sitting on the porch steps. I parked, got out, walked toward the door. We need to talk, she said, standing up. No, we don't. You're being childish. I explained it was just talk. I unlocked the door without responding. She moved to block me. For years together. You're throwing it away over a comment? You said you'd leave me for him. At dinner. In front of your parents. I was making conversation. Bradford is impressive. I was just saying that. You smiled when you said it. You meant it. You're twisting my words. This is why we have problems. You never listen. I listen perfectly. Now move. Where am I supposed to go? You went somewhere last night. Go there. She was crying now. Real tears or fake, I couldn't tell anymore. Didn't matter. Your name might be on the lease, but I have rights. Call a lawyer then. She stared at me. You're serious? Completely. I moved past her into the house. Closed the door. Locked it. She pounded on it for maybe 10 minutes. Then I heard her car start. Watched through the window as she drove away. My brother called that night. Dennis. Older by 4 years. Protective in that quiet way cops develop. Patrol officer for Shelby County. Lived in Bartlett with his wife Amy and their 2 kids. Melissa called Mom, he said. Mom called me. What happened? I told him. You did everything right, he said after a moment. No threats, no drama. Just boundaries. Good to know. Lease is in your name only. Yeah. She never established residency? No mail, no official address there? Her parents made her keep their address for taxes. Some investment thing I never understood. Then you're clear. She's got no legal standing. That's what I figured. Mom's worried about you, though. I'm fine. Actually better. Yeah. He sounded surprised. Yeah. Dad would be proud. Clean break, no mess. Our dad had passed 5 years back. Heart attack at 58. Army man, retired sergeant. He'd valued decisiveness. Clear thinking. Thanks. I can have a chat with the Hartwells if they cause problems. I want this clean. Understood. But the offer's there. We hung up. I sat in the quiet house. Made myself dinner. Heated up leftover pasta. Ate it standing at the counter. Went to bed early. Tuesday at work was normal until Mr. Crawford called me to his office mid-morning. Someone claiming to be your girlfriend came by earlier, he said. Receptionist turned her away. Ex-girlfriend. We separated Sunday. He nodded slowly. She was upset. Said you locked her out of her home. My home. My lease. She lived with me, but never officially. I see. Crawford was 50-something, ran the company for 20 years. Fair, professional. Just wanted to know if there's a safety concern. No, sir. Just someone not accepting boundaries. If she comes back, we'll call police. Can't have disruptions here. Understood. I appreciate that. Get back to work. I did. But at lunch, Ramon pulled me aside. Sorry, man. Heard what happened. That's rough. Small town dynamics, even in a city this size. Word spread fast. It is what it is, I said. He nodded. Didn't push. Back to work. Wednesday evening, I met Garrett at Central Barbecue on Central Avenue. The place was busy, smelled like smoke and sweet sauce. Garrett was already there, sitting at a table near the window. You look better than I expected, he said when I sat down. What were you expecting? I don't know. More destroyed, I guess. The waitress came by. We ordered pulled pork plates and sweet tea. Kelly says the story's getting wilder, Garrett said. Now you supposedly destroyed her stuff. I labeled boxes. Very carefully. He laughed. That's what I figured. How you really doing? Honestly, relieved. Like I've been holding my breath for months. You saw it coming? I saw signs. Ignored them. Chose to trust her. Not your fault for trusting. No. But it was my choice to ignore what I saw. The food came. We ate. Talked about other things. Work. The Grizzlies season starting up. Normal stuff. It felt good. Kelly wants to set you up eventually, Garrett said as we were finishing. Not ready for that. I know. Just putting it out there for later. Appreciate it. I paid. Thanks for not making it weird. That's what friends do, man. I drove home feeling better. Lighter. Normal. Thursday after work, I check my email. Scrolling through the usual stuff. Shipping confirmations, work updates, spam. Then I saw one from someone named Brianna Cole. Didn't recognize the name. Subject line, about Melissa. I almost deleted it. Almost. But something made me open it. Hi Connor, we haven't met. I work with Melissa at the agency. I've been struggling with whether to reach out, but I think you deserve to know the truth. Melissa and Bradford have been involved since March, not just emotionally. I've seen them together at his apartment after work. I've covered for her when she said she was working late. I feel terrible about it now. They talk about leaving together once his divorce is finalized. He's married with kids. I'm sorry. You seem like a good person. Brianna. March to October. 8 months, not 6. Not recent. Bradford was married. Had kids. I sat there at my kitchen table, staring at the screen. I wasn't surprised. Just confirmed. I typed back. Thank you for telling me. Takes courage. Not your fault. She responded almost immediately. She's telling everyone you're controlling. Wanted you to know the truth. I closed my laptop. 8 months of lying. Of late nights and excuses. Of me trusting her. But I'd already made my choice. This just made it easier. Friday morning, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. Connor, we need to discuss the property situation. Richard Hartwell. Using someone else's phone. What situation? The duplex. My property. Melissa tells me you've locked her out. I ended our relationship. She doesn't live here anymore. She lived there for 18 months. That's tenancy. Check your lease. My name only. No additional occupants listed. Silence. Then, she's my daughter. You can't just. Mr. Hartwell, I pay rent on time. Keep the property maintained, violated no lease terms. If you want to discuss lease renewal in March, we can. Otherwise, I have nothing else to say. You're being unreasonable. I'm being clear. Have a good day, sir. I hung up. My lease renewed in March. 5 months away. That could be a problem. I called Dennis during lunch. Explained the call. They can't evict you without cause, he said. You're paid up, right? Always. Then you're fine. They try anything, let me know. The weekend was quiet. Saturday morning, I woke up to knocking on the door. Loud, persistent. I looked through the window. Melissa and Stephanie, both standing on the porch. I ignored them. Made coffee. Went about my day. Cleaned the house. Did laundry. Went grocery shopping through the back entrance to the duplex. They waited for 2 hours. Eventually left. Saturday afternoon, text from an unknown number. Stephanie's phone, probably. You can't avoid this forever. Be a man and talk to her. I didn't respond. Blocked the number. Saturday evening, headlights in the driveway. Richard and Patricia. I watched from the window as they approached. Patricia knocked gently. Connor, please. Let's talk about this reasonably. I made dinner. Grilled chicken, rice. Ate at the kitchen table. We know you're in there. This is childish. Richard's voice, harder now. 20 minutes later, they left. Sunday morning, Melissa alone. Different approach. Gentle knocking. Connor, I know I messed up. Please just listen. I was making breakfast. Scrambled eggs, toast. Coffee brewing. She was crying. I could hear it through the door. I miss you. I miss us. It didn't mean anything. It meant everything. She left after 30 minutes. An hour later, my phone rang. Unknown number again. Why won't you just talk to me? Melissa's voice. We don't have anything to discuss. For years means nothing to you. You said you'd leave me for him. Those 4 years meant nothing to you. That's not fair. It's exactly fair. Goodbye, Melissa. I hung up. Blocked the number. The weeks blurred together. Work was steady. Garrett had me over for dinner once. Kelly cooked lasagna. Asked how I was doing. I said fine. Meant it. I noticed looks at the grocery store. The Kroger on Cooper Street. People I recognized from the neighborhood. Mrs. Wallace from next door asked if everything was okay. Saw some commotion last weekend, she said. Just a breakup. Nothing to worry about. You're a good tenant. Quiet, respectful. Hope you stay. She knew the Hartwells owned the place. Everyone knew everyone's business eventually. At work, more people knew. Ramon mentioned his ex had pulled similar stuff. Stay strong, man. Garrett texted me one evening in early November. Kelly says Melissa's version is getting more dramatic. Apparently you're emotionally abusive now. Of course I am, I typed back. Want me to set the record straight? Let people believe what they want. Truth doesn't change. Monday, November 6th, I took a long lunch and drove to Union Avenue. Attorney's office. I'd done research, found Mr. Leonard Voss. Family law, tenant rights. Good reviews. His office was professional, clean, no pretense. Voss himself was maybe 60, sharp eyes, firm handshake. I explained the situation. The relationship, the dinner, the departure. Legally, you're completely clear, he said. No marriage, no cohabitation agreement, no shared assets. Her father owns my rental. He's implied trouble at lease renewal. That's retaliatory eviction if he tries. Illegal in Tennessee. We'd have a case. I want to avoid court if possible. Then document everything. Every contact attempt, every threat. Build a record. He outlined costs. Retainer was $2,500 if things escalated. Can I think about it? Absolutely. My advice, start documenting now. If nothing happens, you're out nothing but time. I left with his business card. Started a log that evening. Dates, times, who contacted me, what was said. Military habits again. Documentation. Evidence. My mom called mid-November. Linda Walsh. Lived in Cordova, worked part-time at a library. Dennis mentioned what happened. You okay? Yeah, Mom. Actually better than I've been in a while. Good. Your father would say you handled it right. She invited me to Thanksgiving at Dennis's place in Bartlett. I said yes. Will Melissa be there? I asked. Of course not. Why would she be? Just checking. The week before Thanksgiving, Brianna sent another email. Subject, update you should know. Bradford's wife found out. She confronted Melissa at the office yesterday. It was bad. Melissa got sent home. Bradford is on administrative leave. His wife is filing for divorce and mentioned Melissa by name in the papers. Just thought you'd want to know you dodged a bullet. Brianna. I read it twice. Felt nothing. No satisfaction, no vindication. Just acknowledgement. I typed back. Thanks for keeping me informed. Hope the office settles down. 3 days later, Melissa showed up at work. Gloria at reception called me. That woman's here again. Want me to call police? Let me handle it. I went to the lobby. Melissa looked terrible. Hadn't been sleeping, from the looks of it. Dark circles under her eyes. Hair pulled back messy. Can we talk? Please. Just 5 minutes. You need to leave. This is my workplace. Everything fell apart. Bradford, he's not. I made a mistake. Yes, you did. I'm sorry. Really sorry. Can we just try again? No. Just like that? For years mean nothing? You made your choice at dinner. Live with it. She was crying now. He was never going to leave his wife. I was so stupid. That's not my problem anymore. I turned to Gloria. If she comes back, call police for trespassing. Went back to the warehouse. Mr. Crawford pulled me aside later. Want to file a formal trespass warning? I considered it. Not yet. But if she comes back, yes. Thanksgiving was good. Normal. Dennis's house was full of noise. His kids, 7 and 9, running around. Amy had cooked enough food for 20 people. Mom was there, happy to see everyone together. The kids asked about Melissa once. Amy handled it. They're not together anymore, sweetie. Kids accepted it, moved on. Adult drama meant nothing to them. Mom pulled me aside after dinner. You seem lighter. Less tense. I feel lighter. Good relationships shouldn't feel heavy. Yeah. Took me too long to see that. Evening was football and beer with Dennis. His Bartlett house was modest, 3 bedrooms, good neighborhood. Kids were in bed by 9. Heard from her lately? Dennis asked during a commercial. Came by work last week. Desperate. Thinks she'll give up? Eventually. She doesn't have other options now. Her boss thing didn't work out? His wife found out. Named Melissa in divorce papers. Dennis whistled. Damn. Yeah. First week of December, I got a letter. Formal, from a property management company. Not directly from the Hartwells. Lease renewal offered. Rent increase from $1,100 to $1,300 a month. I looked up market rates for the area. Similar places were going for $1,150 to $1,250. This was high. Could be retaliation, but hard to prove. I called Mr. Voss. It's high, but not impossibly high, he said. Hard to prove retaliation. What if I just move? That's actually the cleanest option. No ongoing connection to her family. I decided right then. I'd find a new place. Month to month until March, then move. I wrote back to the property manager. I'll continue month to month at current rate until I find alternative housing. Per Tennessee law, you cannot increase rent on month to month without 30 days notice, which I'm providing I won't accept. Legal posturing. Clean. Professional. They responded 2 days later. Accepted month to month at current rate. I started looking at apartments that weekend. Midtown, Cooper Young area. Found a 1-bedroom in Midtown for $975 a month. Modern, quiet, no connection to anyone. Applied, got approved quickly. Move-in date, January 15th. Told Garrett the news. Getting out from under her parents' property. Smart. Clean break from everything. December 23rd, a package arrived. I hadn't ordered anything. Return address was Melissa's parents' house. Inside was a wrapped box. Christmas gift. Note attached. I know you don't want to talk. I understand. But I wanted you to have this. It was always meant for you. Merry Christmas. M. I didn't open it. Took it to the UPS store, sent it back. Returned to sender. Recipient refused. Christmas Day was at Dennis's again. Peaceful. Normal family stuff. No contact from Melissa. Garrett texted. Merry Christmas, man. Doing okay? Yeah. Good day. New Year's Eve, I stayed home. Watched TV, went to bed early. Thought about last year. Same night, I'd been at the Hartwell's party. Melissa beside me, smiling, playing the perfect couple. Now, alone in my duplex. But not lonely. The difference mattered. January 15th, moving day. Dennis and Garrett both showed up to help. Didn't take long. Single guy, minimal furniture. The new apartment was clean, modern, quiet. Mine. Fresh start, Dennis said. Good for you. Kelly wants to have you over for dinner next week, Garrett said. Sounds good. That evening, I unpacked essentials. Ordered pizza. Sat in my living room, quiet satisfaction settling over me. No memories here. No ghosts. Just forward. I texted the property manager. Moved out. Keys in mailbox. Final walkthrough can be scheduled. He responded quickly. We'll inspect Monday. Deposit return in 30 days. Clean exit. The next week, I went to Garrett and Kelly's for dinner. Kelly cooked her usual lasagna and garlic bread. After dinner, Kelly brought it up. Sophie's a vet tech at the clinic in Midtown. Really nice. Single. Want me to introduce you? I hesitated. I don't know if I'm ready. No pressure, Garrett said. Kelly's just putting it out there. Different how? I asked Kelly. Honest. Direct. No games. Reminds me of you, actually. I thought about it. Maybe. Casual, though. Kelly smiled. I'll give her your number. She can text if she wants. No expectations. 5 days later, text from an unknown number. Hi, this is Sophie. Kelly gave me your number. No pressure, but want to grab coffee sometime? I appreciated the directness. Hi, Sophie. Coffee sounds good. When works for you? Saturday morning? Java Cabana on Cooper? 10 a.m. work? Perfect. See you then. No games. Just straightforward planning. Saturday morning, I got to Java Cabana at 10. Local place, busy on weekends. Sophie was already there. Brunette, casual in jeans and a sweater, easy smile. Connor? Sophie, good to meet you. We ordered coffee. Found a table by the window. Kelly said you're a good guy going through some stuff, she said. Went through. It's done now. Want to talk about it or skip it? Skip it. Fresh start sounds better. She smiled. Good. I like forward-looking people. We talked for 2 hours. About work. She loved animals, shared stories about the clinic. Funny ones, mostly. The dogs that came in terrified and left wagging their tails. The cats that acted like they owned the place. I told her about the warehouse. The logistics side of things. How everything had a system, a place. We talked about Memphis. Both of us were native. Compared neighborhoods, favorite spots. She hiked at Shelby Farms Park on weekends. I said I'd been getting back into running. When we left, she said, this was nice. Want to do dinner sometime? Yeah, I'd like that. We texted over the next week. Nothing heavy. Plans for dinner. A phone call one evening that lasted an hour. Just easy conversation. Early February, I ran into Dennis at the grocery store. We grabbed a beer after. Saw Melissa last week, he said. At the Kroger on Poplar. Didn't talk to her, but she looked rough. Not my problem anymore. He nodded. Cold, but fair. Not cold. Just done. Mid-February, final deposit check arrived from the old apartment. Full amount minus $75 for carpet cleaning. Standard. Last financial tie severed. Late February, Sophie and I were at dinner. Second real date. Italian place in Overton Square. Kelly mentioned you got out of something serious, she said. Do I need to worry about baggage? No baggage. Just learn some things about myself. Like what? That I ignored things I shouldn't have. Won't do that again. Good. I don't do games or hints. If something's wrong, I'll say it. That's exactly what I need. We kept seeing each other. Slow build. Nothing rushed. February 24th. Email from Melissa. First contact in almost 2 months. Subject, I understand now. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity won. Connor, I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to say I understand why you left. I understand why you won't talk to me. What I did was unforgivable, and I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I know. I've been in therapy, learning about myself. Why I did what I did. None of it excuses anything. You deserve better. I hope you found better. You probably have. You're a good person. I wasn't. I'm trying to be now. That's all. Take care of yourself. Melissa. I read it twice. Felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction. Just acknowledgement. I didn't respond. Deleted it. Moved on. That evening, Sophie and I were watching a movie at my place. I told her about the email. How do you feel about it? Nothing really. It's done. Good answer. Early March, Sunday morning. Sophie and I went hiking at Shelby Farms Park. The weather was warming up, trees starting to bud. We walked the trails, talking easily. Kelly says you're different from when she first heard about you, Sophie said. Different how? Lighter. Like you're not carrying something heavy. I'm not. Not anymore. We hiked in comfortable silence after that. Later, lunch at a cafe in Overton Square. Making plans for the next week. My phone buzzed. Text from Garrett. Double date Friday. New restaurant opened. I showed Sophie. Garrett wants to double date. You interested? Sure. Sounds fun. Simple. No hesitation. No reading between lines. I thought about 4 months ago. Sitting in that darkened duplex, watching Melissa leave with her boxes. Felt like a lifetime. Felt like yesterday. Now sunlight. New relationship. Forward momentum. I didn't need closure from Melissa. Found it in myself instead. We finished lunch, walked around Overton Square. Sophie pointed out a bookstore she liked. We went in, browsed for an hour. She picked up a mystery novel. I grabbed something on military history. Want to get coffee? She asked as we left. Always. We found a bench outside, sat in the March sun. Memphis was coming alive again. Warm air, people out walking, the energy of a city waking up from winter. My phone stayed in my pocket. Sophie's too. We just sat there, talking about nothing important. Everything important. For years with Melissa. Ended at a dinner table with one sentence. But it really ended before that. I just finally paid attention. Now this. Sophie's hand in mine. Easy conversation. No wait. No wondering where I stood. Just honest. Straightforward. Real. You okay? Sophie asked. Yeah, really okay. She smiled. Squeezed my hand. We sat there a while longer. Then headed back to my apartment. Made dinner together. Pasta, salad, nothing fancy. She was comfortable in my kitchen. I was comfortable with her there. After dinner, we sat on my small balcony. The evening was cool, but not cold. I could hear traffic from Cooper Street. Normal city sounds. This is nice, Sophie said. Yeah. She leaned against me. Comfortable silence. My phone buzzed once. I ignored it. Didn't matter who it was. I was here. Now. Moving forward. The past was behind me. Boxed up and gone. Just like those 10 boxes on the porch that night. Everything I needed was right here. Not perfect. Not wrapped up neat. But real. And that was enough. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.